Let's talk about the crisis at the southern border. It's proven to be a major issue on the campaign trail, just a few weeks away now from the Iowa caucuses on January 15th. ABC News political director Rick Klein joins us now to talk about this. Rick, the White House predictably slamming this move by Governor Abbott to fly migrants north and dump them there. He's saying he's, quote, showing how little regard for or respect he has for human beings, as the White House says, and calling the flight to Chicago a, quote, political stunt. Well, it may or may not be. It's a political problem for the president, isn't it? How big, do you think?
Oh, no question. And I think it's something the White House is attuned to. And, Perry, I think it also feeds into the negotiations that have been going right through the holiday season around potential border security. A lot of people on President Biden's left are, frankly, angry that the White House would engage in the kind of negotiations they are with Republicans. Republicans looking for some harsher border sanctions and security precautions. But the fact that the White House and Democrats are engaging, I think, is a recognition of the reality, the images, and the humanity that is the reality of the situation on the border right now. It's a big problem because I think it also feeds a perception that's out there in the populace among voters that things are just out of control.
Yeah, that Biden, he's been president now 3 years, and this is as bad as it's ever been. There are many factors, of course, but the buck stops in the office with no corners, and so he's going to have to own it. So, Rick, since we have you, I want to talk about these legal cases in so many states, like Maine now, in light of the decision by the Colorado Supreme Court to disqualify Donald Trump from that state's 2024 primary ballot due to his role in January 6th. And I've seen some calls from Democrats and articles in liberal publications saying, why stop with Trump? There were members of Congress, there were state officials who were involved, they believe, in the effort to overturn the country, the election the country had. So how big an issue is this going to be, and which way will it cut?
Well, I think politically it probably only helps Donald Trump. As we've discussed, this is part of his core messaging, and he's incorporated in it. And even his fellow Republicans, the people that are running against him in the primaries, are buying into the notion this is somehow weaponized justice departments or legal efforts that were launched by Democrats. Look, I think some of this was litigated in the midterm elections. We had a couple of court challenges trying to get people off of ballots at the congressional level. None of them ultimately succeeded or ended up making a difference. This Colorado one is very significant, though, because it opens the door for other states to do the same. You mentioned Maine. We're expecting a decision there by close of business tomorrow, right before Christmas. The Lieutenant Governor of California has raised the possibility of excluding Trump from the ballot there, and the nation's largest state has the largest number of delegates to the Republican convention. So we could see sort of a patchwork of different states coming down in different directions, places where Trump's on the ballot, places where he's off. As you said, maybe lower ranking candidates for office could also be impacted. Ultimately, I don't see how the Supreme Court doesn't weigh in on this, just given the contradictions we're seeing from these different courts. Colorado changed the game. It was the first time any court had felt that it was appropriate to rule that Trump cannot be on the ballot for president. And I think that just requires now word from the nation's highest court.
Right, because it looks like the courts are basically deciding, you know, primary by primary around the country who's going to be on the ballot, who isn't, and the Supreme Court is probably going to want to sort that out. Good luck to them. Rick Klein, thanks very much, as always.
You bet. Thanks, Terry.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.